Hey guys, BigGunner81 here. Hope you're all doing well today. Today's video we're going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing and check out of these Cobra CBUS backup iron sights. Kind of ironic, iron sights when they're polymer, but you know, Magpul MBUS sights, same thing, they're polymer also, and people refer to them as iron sights. I was looking for a low-cost alternative to the Magpul sights. I like the Magpul sights a lot, but the reason why I was looking for a low-cost alternative is, well, just wanted to put them on my AR pistol, which really, for all intents and purposes, is more or less a tool for plinking. I really hate using the term, but it does kind of sum it up. It's a range toy. It's not really, I mean, you could use it for defensive purposes, but more or less it's just for your own enjoyment at the range. So I didn't really want to spend a lot of money on the sights. More or less a budget build just for fun. And I figured, well, these look like they might be promising, might be worth trying out. I watched a video that the guys from the Cobra I think made, and they talk about some of the benefits, and they kind of say, well, we compare it to the Magpul, and it's got this and that feature and whatever, and we think it might be better than Magpul even. Well, of course they do, because it's their product. And here's the part number on it too. These are the black ones. They come in, I guess, 3 different colors, and they are spring-loaded. Pretty neat feature. So open it up and check out what we got here. I'm guessing these are made overseas. I think it may have said that, I don't really remember, but most everything today is anyway. So yeah, they come in a, basically a package just like so. Of course, with the Allen wrench to adjust it. We'll go ahead and open up the packaging. Take them out of here and take a look and see what we got. So, it's pretty neat. Looks like the front sight post there is also steel. Let's see, yeah, it sure is. Checked with my trusty magnet. Yeah, very interesting looking. Just kind of flipped one up there, just kind of see. I'll bring it up close so you guys see this thumb adjustment here, so you can somewhat easily click it. I think more or less than your thumb, it's going to end up being like your fingernail, because it's kind of tough. Yeah, it moves. Just gotta grab with your nail pretty much to make it move. But that's pretty cool that you don't need a tool to adjust it. Nonetheless, I like that. You know, sometimes you forget your sight adjustment tool and you want to zero in your sights. That's a bummer. Of course, the rear one. Let's see. Nice positive clicks. I like that. There is a little bit of play in the knob here. Let's see. Yeah, there's just a little bit of movement there, but for, I don't know if you guys can see here better maybe. You know, that's the movement between the detent to detent. Not horrible. I mean, it's not like it's a real loose, like it's going to just move by bumping it, and it's not very much movement really. But for my purposes, that's acceptable to me for what I'm going to be putting these on. And let's see, I'll pop this one up too. The other thing is, just to compare, like the Magpul sights, you have to kind of push down. Well, these kind of push forward, and just to release the sight so it would pop up. As you might be able to see, just kind of try to close it. It's kind of awkward without having it mounted on a rail. There you go. I'm just going to hold it there. I'm just going to pull this forward. There you go. Nice positive pop. And I mean, otherwise doesn't feel like there's any wobble in the hinge on that one. This one nice and tight as well. Don't feel any wobbling or any movement there. They seem like they'll stay up. Like they're going to definitely spring load open. Of course, you can push them back because you're supposed to be able to close them. And let's go ahead and I'll slip them on my AR pistol upper, and we'll take a look at that. Alright, so I went ahead and took the mounting screws out, or bolts. And one thing I want to make sure you guys know too is that the nut on here is just kind of sitting inside the plastic there. It can pop out, so don't lose it when you're working on these. And also, with these sights versus the Magpul sights, there isn't any Loctite of any sort on these threads. Now, you may or may not need it, but I would just feel better putting a little bit of Loctite on there, just so that the thing, these sights don't loosen up in some way or whatever. So first things first, we'll go ahead and I'm going to slide the rear sight into place, and we'll see how it fits. Slides on nice. There's only a little bit of wobble. Kind of set it on there. Put a little dab of Loctite on here. And we'll get the rear sight tightened up. Of course, this is kind of like, we'll, trial and error. We'll put it on here, see how they work and everything. As far as where I mounted them. So nice and snug on there. And now you can kind of see this a little better maybe. I'll bring it over so you can see it. You kind of push forward on them, which I don't know if I like that better or not. It's kind of a cool thing that it goes forward versus the down, but I don't know. I can also see the sights releasing if you're trying to slide this upper, into like a bag or something. Maybe it might catch on something, or it might get pressed up against something as you're pulling it in and out. But then again, the Magpul can do the same thing, kind of, if it gets bumped enough. But I kind of see this as, your rifle is, this button is basically running parallel to the length of the firearm. So I think it may have more of a chance if you're sliding it up against something to release those sights. Not that it's a big deal, just something like, opinion, comment, whatever you want to call it. Going to go ahead and slide this front one on here. Just putting a dab of Loctite on this screw. And yeah, these sights though, for the money so far, I think it's a decent value for something like this project here. When you pretty much are paying like for the pair what it would cost for you're getting two sights basically for the price of one. In other words, if you were buying a going to tap this sight on a little bit. It's a little snug fit on this particular rail in the front. We'll get it into place. Yeah, if you're buying like the Magpul rear sight only, or the front sight or whatever, you're paying about the same for both of these as you would for just one of the Magpul sights, roughly. So yeah, the front one fits nicely, but on here nice and snug. The rear one wasn't too bad. Before tightening it down or anything, just kind of getting a feel for the way it's shaped as far as the rail is concerned. But the rail on this fore end might be a little wider by a couple, thousandths of an inch or whatever than the rail on the upper receiver. It's kind of hard to visually see that, but I'm just guessing. Or the front sight is just a little different than when it comes to the dimensions versus the rear. So go ahead and just get this other mounting bolt tightened up. Kind of fold them back down. They look like they sit a little taller than the MBUS sights. That's my guess. It just kind of looks weird, but nonetheless, I think that this will be a good option for a a lower cost build like this particular pistol is. Just kind of take a quick peek through the front. And again, it takes a little getting used to, releasing these sights, but it's not inconvenient. It's not really non-ergonomic, because you have your hand resting on the rail and push forward on it. As a Magpul, you kind of have to squeeze towards you. Magpul might be better because you have you're kind of gripping the diameter of the forend when you're pushing down versus pushing forward as you're trying to squeeze with your hand. But that's just personal preference type thing. The large aperture is pretty nice on this. I don't know if you guys can, if I can even get that. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see. Let's go ahead and flip this aperture and kind of take a look at that. Yeah, it's pretty neat. That small aperture is kind of small for my likings, but not really the end of the world. I suppose you could always modify it a little bit if you wanted to. I'm just kind of looking through it, kind of getting my, making a good judgment on it, but it's not horrible. I actually kind of like the larger aperture better almost, but we'll have to play around with that. So yeah, there you guys go. That's the Cobra Tac backup sights. Again, might be a good reasonable option for a low-cost build if you're working on one. And until next time, guys, go have some fun building an AR, or go out and have some fun shooting.
Sure.